In October 2025, Norwich City unveiled the biggest stadium plan in their history. Within 3 weeks, their own majority shareholder was publicly apologizing for it. Norwich have been at Carrow Road for 90 years, selling out almost every week, but still earning limited matchday income compared to smaller clubs. 3 promotions, 3 immediate relegations, and 30 years of expansion plans that never turned into construction. That is now changing. New American ownership has put a 4-phase redevelopment on the table, targeting 35,000 seats and a brand new fan zone the stadium has never had in 9 decades of existence. But the plan is simultaneously approved by local councilors and frozen by the club's own board. And the city stand rebuild that would actually deliver 35,000 seats depends entirely on one thing Norwich haven't managed in 5 straight seasons. This is the full story of Carrow Road and the fight over what it becomes next. Carrow Road was built in just 82 days after Norwich City's old ground, the Nest, was declared unsafe in 1935. The Nest had serious structural issues, including parts of the pitch sinking into the chalk beneath it, leaving the club with no choice but to move quickly. Norwich secured a new site and built an entire stadium in a single summer. Carrow Road opened in August 1935, and the first league match ended in a 4-3 win over West Ham in front of nearly 30,000 fans. Almost 90 years later, Norwich City are still playing on the same ground. On the 25th of October 1984, at around 3:30 in the morning, an electrical fault started a fire in the city stand. The boardroom, dressing rooms, trophy room, and around 700 seats were destroyed. 40 firefighters prevented it from spreading further, but the stand itself was a complete loss. For nearly 2 years, Norwich played in a 3-sided stadium while a replacement was built. The Geoffrey Watling City Stand opened in 1987, single-tiered, largely unchanged since, and still the oldest structure at Carrow Road today. It's also the stand that sits at the center of everything the club is now trying to do. The financial constraints of a 27,000-seat stadium have weighed on the club for years. In 2024-25, the club generated £39.3 million in total revenue, down from £73 million the previous season after Premier League parachute payments ended. Matchday income was £10.6 million, even though the stadium regularly operates at around 97% capacity, with over 22,000 season ticket holders and a long waiting list. With no real room to expand the current ground, a large amount of demand simply cannot be converted into extra revenue. Expansion has been discussed at Norwich since at least 2012, when the club commissioned the University of East Anglia to assess whether adding 7,000 seats was viable. The study said yes. Chief Executive David McNally put the cost at around £20 million and immediately shelved it, stating the club would only pursue expansion once they were an established Premier League side. What followed made that condition harder to meet. Norwich won promotion in 2015, 2019, and 2021, and were relegated after a single season each time. Every time they went up, the expansion conversation restarted. Every time they came down, it stopped again. By 2023, internal master planning had quietly resumed, but in 2024, Executive Director Zoe Weber was still telling supporters a city stand rebuild was too expensive, with steel costs cited as the main barrier. The club had even been studying how Liverpool managed the Anfield Road expansion without closing the stadium, but concrete plans remained out of reach. That changed in October 2024 when Delia Smith and Michael Wynne-Jones stepped back after 28 years, the end of one of the most well-known ownership stories in English football. Mark Atanasio, who had first invested in 2022 and gradually increased his stake, completed his takeover with 85% ownership and set a public target of Premier League football within 3 to 5 years. Within 12 months, the club announced a 4-phase redevelopment of Carrow Road targeting 35,000 capacity, the most concrete stadium plan this club had ever put forward, and it immediately split Norwich City right down the middle. When Norwich announced their Carrow Road redevelopment in October 2025, it felt different from anything before. Previous owners had discussed expansion for decades without taking action, but under Mark Atanasio, it happened within a year. The plan was shaped by a new approach, American-style stadium thinking, where the venue is designed to generate revenue all day, not just during the 90 minutes of a match. The most visible piece of that thinking is the new fan zone behind the Barclays stand, a covered outdoor space with food, entertainment, and atmosphere open before and after every game. Simple concept, but Carrow Road has never had it. Supporters currently arrive, walk in, and leave. The fan zone changes that, keeping fans at the stadium for longer and increasing spending. Inside the ground, the transformation goes further. The Gun Club, the main hospitality space, is completely overhauled and rebranded as Club NR1, with new seating configurations, a street food menu, and a dedicated matchday app. A supporter village outside the South Stand adds live entertainment and family activities. Away supporters move into a dedicated lower-tier section with their own segregated entrance, something the current layout doesn't cleanly provide. That relocation frees the South Stand for expanded premium hospitality, targeting the high-margin commercial revenue modern clubs depend on to stay competitive. All of it is groundwork for the one structure the whole plan is building toward. The Jeffrey Watling City Stand, single-tiered 4,338 seats, the oldest and smallest section of the bowl, would be replaced entirely with a double-tier stand, adding around 7,000 seats. That is the moment Carrow Road becomes a 35,000-seat stadium. The club has been direct about the condition attached. It only becomes financially responsible once Norwich are established in the Premier League. A half-empty expanded stadium in the Championship costs more than it earns. The problem started quickly. Local residents near the stadium raised formal objections to the fan zone, citing noise and matchday disruption, which forced the club into talks before planning could continue. Norfolk Constabulary also raised safety concerns about away supporters being placed next to family and disabled sections under the new layout. Then opposition grew inside the stadium itself. Over 3,000 season ticket holders faced relocation, and banners reading "We will not be moved" appeared in the stands. Within weeks, Mark Atanasio admitted publicly that the club should have consulted supporters before announcing the plan. The project was formally suspended. But in January 2026, while the club said the redevelopment was paused, local councillors still granted full planning approval. Norwich now hold permission for a project their own board has frozen, a stadium plan that is both approved and on hold at the same time. And with the design now drawn, the next question is no longer what Carrow Road will become, but how it will actually be built and who will pay for it. Norwich have never revealed the total cost of this redevelopment. For a project targeting 35,000 seats, that silence is telling. In 2012, adding 7,000 seats was estimated at £20 million, a figure that bears almost no relation to what the same project would cost today. Construction costs have surged well ahead of inflation since COVID, and steel prices specifically have been the killer. The longer this sits frozen, the further that number climbs. The potential return is what makes it worth a risk. Norwich currently earn £10.6 million from match days, despite selling out almost every game. A stadium at full capacity, but with a commercial infrastructure that barely exists. A modernized 35,000-seat Carrow Road with proper hospitality, corporate areas, and a fan zone could realistically double that figure. Over 22,000 season ticket holders are already at the ceiling with a waiting list that never clears. Trapped demand the club cannot monetize under the current footprint. A larger stadium also increases the club's overall valuation, giving ownership stronger leverage for future investment or eventual sale. The original timeline ran Fan Zone Summer 2026, Stadium Reconfiguration for 2026 to 27, Hospitality Upgrades for 2027 to 28, City Stand Rebuild from 2028 onwards. Norwich intends to keep Carrow Road open throughout, with 27,000 supporters still attending every home match while construction happens around them. Liverpool proved that model works with Anfield, but it demands precise planning and serious logistics management on every match day for years. Then there are the problems specific to this ground. A 150-room hotel sits directly beside the city stand, leaving almost no space for a clean rebuild. During construction, the club would lose around 5,000 seats, a serious revenue hit at precisely the moment costs are highest. Football has seen what happens when stadium ambition outruns financial reality. Everton's ongoing embargo is the most visible current warning, and it began with exactly this kind of miscalculation, which is why everything comes back to the Premier League. Championship clubs earn between £5 and £10 million per season in TV money. One Premier League season guarantees a minimum of £100 million. That gap determines whether a city stand rebuild is responsible or reckless. The realistic funding model combines ownership investment, borrowing, and revenue from the earlier phases. But without Premier League income behind it, the numbers don't safely stack up. Norwich are heading into their 5th straight championship season. Atanasio targeted top-flight football within 3 to 5 years. That window is already running. Planning is approved, costs are rising, and the consultation remains unresolved. Carrow Road has waited 90 years for this. Whether Norwich finally deliver it depends on promotion, funding, and a fan base that needs to be brought along properly this time. So is this finally the moment, or just another chapter in a long history of unfinished ambition? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more football stadium stories.